by several Mach 5 surface-to-air missiles. In an instant, the era of stealth has ended. April 8th, 2027. In a hypothetical combat scenario based on what military experts believe the future of air combat will be, a flight of 4 American F-22 Raptors have come under attack. A salvo of surface-to-air missiles are tracking. They've locked onto the stealthy F-22s using low-frequency radar, a vulnerability of stealth technology exploited by the Serbs in Kosovo in 1999. During this conflict, an F-117 Nighthawk was lost to a surface-to-air missile that was modified to use low-frequency radar to lock onto targets. The drawback of this type of radar is the huge amount of clutter it detects. This is why no one else has been able to duplicate the feat.
Though they say that low-frequency radar could possibly see stealth aircraft if it was computer-aided and they were able to clean up all the clutter and then actually focus in on a stealth aircraft. To say that's a viable option, sure, possibly. With the amount of computer power we have these days, that could possibly happen. But you still have to know exactly where in the sky to look for a stealth airplane.
The Raptor pilots take immediate evasive action. These SAMs are traveling at an astonishing speed, over 2,000 miles per hour. The pilots cannot rely on their eyes. The missile is simply moving too fast. The HMD aids them, projecting the SAM's position on the visor so they can maneuver. One missile finds its mark. Hurling deadly shrapnel into the air like firing a shotgun the size of a telephone pole directly into the Raptor. The American is forced to punch out. With quick thinking and aggressive maneuvering, the 3 remaining F-22s defeat their missiles and retreat. As they withdraw, another warning blares. They've been fired on again. This time, radar-guided air-to-air missiles, seemingly launched out of the clear blue sky. This adversary seems to have Generation 5 technology.
I think the first time we face a Gen 5 fighter as the United States, it's going to be a surprise. We're probably not going to know they have it.
The Raptors scramble to defeat the missiles. Then they pick up several faint radar contacts. Enemy aircraft moving towards them at Mach 2. The Raptors move into full afterburner and speed towards the merge. Efforts to gain a lock for an AMRAAM shot fail. Moments before they reach visual range, AWACS confirms the identities of the mystery planes. Russian-designed Sukhoi Su-47s. The Su-47 was introduced in 2000 and is only at the beginning of its development. But the Russians hope this will be the first Generation 5 aircraft built outside the United States.
They have the technology. It's just a matter of them getting the money and the wherewithal to put it together, and the threat. Right now, they're not threatened by us. They're not doing anything to us. There are other countries out there that are threatened by us, and they do have the money. So sure, are they going to probably get some stuff from Russia? Probably.
The Sukhoi, top speed over 1,500 miles per hour, has a unique forward-swept wing, giving it greater agility in a dogfight. With thrust vectoring, advanced avionics, and AESA radar, the Su-47 will be a formidable adversary.
We will already have a game plan to do battle with that type of fighter. And we have that already because there's Raptors fighting Raptors. So they're already developing techniques and tactics against other Gen 5 fighters.
The Raptors and Sukhois fire radar-guided missiles at long range, testing each other out. Their AESA radars easily jam the missiles, and a few simple maneuvers break lock. In this scenario, technology is a virtual wash. It's pilot versus pilot. One unlucky Raptor pilot attracts the attention of 3 Sukhois.
No matter how high-tech the aircraft get, we are going to need to keep developing our dogfighting skills, because there can come that situation where you do get stuck in a phone booth with somebody, and if you don't dispatch with them quickly, the 4 or 5 other guys coming up at you will eventually get you.
The Su-47s engage the F-22 at close range, firing heat-seeking missiles. The enemy pilots contain the fiercely maneuvering American F-22. Despite their best efforts, they can't knock the Raptor out.
The West way of fighting is you allow the individual to assess the situation on site, and then he makes the determination, or she makes the determination that this is the way I'm going to fight this battle.
The American uses the F-22's spectacular maneuverability in close to gain position for a shot. In an instant, he swivels his head up. A Sukhoi's glowing red tailpipe blazes 50 degrees off his nose. His sidewinder locks. The missile streaks in. Its continuous rod warhead, a packed ring of welded steel rods, bursts open inside the aircraft.
That's why we are training our people to do air-to-air combat, as well as air-to-ground, and not just beyond visual range air-to-air combat. We're still teaching basic fighter maneuvers, how to handle the close-in fight.
The Raptor quickly rolls and turns. The Sidewinder shot has improved the odds, but a quick check reveals he's now in a dangerous position, sandwiched between the 2 remaining Sukhois. Quickly, the American formulates a plan, one that harkens back to the golden age of dogfighting.
In the event the worst case happens, and you do get into close quarter combat, you still want to have the ability to fight your way out with a gun.
The Raptor is equipped with a single Vulcan rotary cannon, mounted in the starboard wing group with 480 rounds of ammunition, strictly for close encounters.
The gun in the Raptor is really designed to be an air-to-air weapon. The gun is an effective weapon. With some of the new bullets, the ranges go up quite a ways.
Past generations of fighters have made the mistake of not carrying a gun. Most notably, the F-4 Phantom. When it took to the skies over Vietnam in the 1960s, it was roundly criticized by pilots. Missiles of the time were unreliable, and without a gun, pilots had no backup. Since then, air superiority fighters have always had a gun. Using his HMD, the American looks through the floor of his F-22, tracking the movements of the enemy beneath him. He rolls inverted, then gains lock, using his AIM-9X's ability to track targets at any angle. As the missile streaks away, he deftly adjusts the nose, firing a well-aimed burst just before blacking out. He comes to just in time to see the missile impact the first Sukhoi. Now alone, the American tries to re-establish contact with his fellow pilots. One other has survived the lopsided battle. 2 Raptors were lost in the engagement. The enemy, badly mauled, is in open retreat. The Raptors form up and head east. But as they retreat to safety, garbled transmissions begin trickling in. Command and control has clearly taken a hit. Then the Americans receive shocking news. In the opening moments of the war, a score of military and commercial satellites have been blinded. The battle has moved to space. April 8, 2027. War has broken out over the Pacific. In the opening moments, anti-satellite weapons are deployed aboard missiles launched from the surface. The final stage of the rocket carries a kinetic so-called hit-to-kill vehicle to a devastating collision with an American military satellite. The hit-to-kill concept is purposefully simple, since the kinetic energy of an object traveling 7 miles per second is more than enough to destroy a satellite. There is no need for more complex and expensive explosive warheads.